In a world where first impressions count, and how we look often determines how people react to us, there are some who are not what they appear to be. They are much, much more than you would expect, and more fragile than you can imagine. These are their stories, and the doctors who have built an unbreakable bond with them, as they all search for clues that will unravel the mystery that has enveloped their lives.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody wants their child to have something that is certainly going to be with them for the entire, for their life. On the other hand, there's an explanation for what's happened.
Morning. Morning. I think I knew something was wrong because I was in the birthing room. When Sean came out, all of a sudden the nurses and the doctors got real quiet. And I could tell the doctor had found something that wasn't right.
Most people go through life taking a lot of things for granted. They get up in the morning thinking they're going to go to bed feeling the same way that they did when they get up. And that's not the case with me. I'm very well aware that when I get up in the morning, there is always that opportunity or that chance that I could fracture a bone and I could go to bed in excruciating pain. And when you have that in the back of your mind running over and over and over, you eventually get to realize that every moment that you're healthy and every moment you're not in pain, it's a great moment.
Since Sean's birth 23 years ago, pain has been a constant companion.
When I came out, my arm was broken in so many places that it was wrapped around my head, and my legs were like floppy rag dolls, and my head was just really soft, and the whole body was, ribs were crushed, and my arms and legs were crushed. It had been like squeezing a child through some type of bread-making machine that was just pulverizing the bones.
From birth, Sean has relied on his parents to be his legs.
Morning, buddy.
Morning.
I'm vulnerable in their hands, and I could easily slip out of their hands and break my neck, and that's the end of me.
Sean's father, Greg, quit his job in order to be Sean's full-time caregiver.
He was so fragile that if he sneezed hard, he'd break a collarbone. If he took a little toy and picked it up, he'd snap his arm. I remember I got him a little toy, a trailer truck, and had a sliding door on the back of it. And he was laying in the kitchen on the floor, and he just reached over to slide the door up on the back of the truck, and I heard it click. He'd broken his arm. He broke ribs all the time, sneezing, rolling, just took next to nothing to break a rib. The worst breaks were probably the collarbones and the femurs. And I think the worst, that unfortunately only happened once, maybe twice, was when he broke his tailbone. Because when you break a tailbone, you can't lay on your back. You only can lay on your stomach.
As well as his fragile state, the disease has stunted Sean's growth and twisted his spine and limbs. Being born in Chicago was a fortunate turn of events for Sean. With his many fractures, he is close to a hospital that is preeminent in their treatment of children with brittle bone disease. The cases these doctors handle are some of the most severe cases and come from all over the world.
We're operating on people, children that really want to do better, and the most rewarding thing is that the children and the parents have excellent minds, and so you learn from that despite their physical limitations, they have an unlimited potential.
Keith and Cheryl Weiss have brought their adopted twin girls, Rebecca and Rochelle, to Shriners Hospital for treatment. From China, both 4-year-old girls have osteogenesis imperfecta, a fact known to the parents before their adoption. The twins may look identical, but OI has impacted them in different ways. While Rochelle suffers from constant, numerous breaks, her sister's OI is not so severe.
How often does Rebecca break?
Rebecca is actually the marathon girl. She
can go as long as 6 to 9 months without breaking.
Rebecca is being admitted to have a surgery performed called rodding.
Yep. Rebecca's the one that's going to be going through the rodding this time. What they actually do is they they open up the side of her leg, and the way it looks, they practically take the femur bone out of the leg, and then they cut it or break it in several places to make it straight. They drill a hole in the top of the bone and insert a rod down through the bone. It's a real small stainless steel rod, makes the bone straight, plus increases the density, and there's a hook on the top of it so it can't move up and it can't move down. It stays in position.
Keith is knowledgeable about the surgical technique because he's been through the procedure before. Just a few months ago, Rochelle had her first rotting surgery.
Well, it's been wonderful. She's not broke for 2.5 months since we've had the surgery. And she's the child that breaks every month. So this is a really good thing.
This surgical treatment is the most common choice for OI patients, but it's a highly specialized operation. Very few hospitals and very few doctors perform it. Here, rotting becomes almost routine. Rebecca has been breaking bones lately, and her parents have brought her in for this elective surgery. And while her twin sister has gone through the x-rays and surgery before, for Rebecca this is all new territory.
Shell's our real trooper. She takes a lot of pain and doesn't have too much of a problem. This is going to be a little different with Becca, because she gets a hangnail and she's got a basic problem. Enough for everybody. It's okay. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Well, all done now.
All done now.
Say, follow us.
Follow.
After Rebecca's x-rays are developed, they reveal an accidental break in her leg, just above the ankle.
So did it actually break both of them?
It appears that way. Man, we don't know how old that one is over there. The fibula is a small bone there. It looks like it's healed already. Could have broken at the same time. Could have been broken a couple weeks beforehand.
So it is broke.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, no wonder she's been so careful with it. Oh, wow.
A hospital room is familiar territory for Rebecca. Since coming to North America, she's been in and out of clinics on a regular basis, mostly as an outpatient. This is the first time she'll spend the night alone. Up to this point, Keith and Cheryl have decided not to tell Rebecca the details of the operation.
As far as the rotting part goes, I don't know if they're old enough to figure out why, but as far as aware, I don't know if a child that young would actually know. Okay. But it'll be neat when Becca's able to walk, won't it? Yep, she's able to run around.
Without breaking?
Yep, without breaking. She'll be able to run around with you out in the yard. She'll probably pass you by. Yep. Hey, that's common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
The simple act of running through the yard can be a difficult exercise for children with OI. Jojo Sturm, seen here in family videos at 2½, is able to get around, but not without difficulty. At this point in his young life, Jojo has had more than 25 fractures, most to his femurs and tibias, but he's also broken arms, feet, toes, and his collarbone.
Pain is something Jojo lives with on a regular basis. Our desire to protect our son from fractures is tempered by the realization that he must eventually discover his own limitations. I've done a lot of research on OI during the past few years, especially hoping to find some sort of treatment that might help. I read an article in the journal Pediatrics regarding a study using high doses of vitamin C for OI. The results look pretty good to me, and we've been trying it for the past couple of years. The pressure I feel is to find something to make the fracture stop happening, and in the longer term, sure, we want to get him in as good shape as we possibly can before puberty, because that would determine whether or not he's going to be in a wheelchair, for the rest of his life.
It's the mothers, the incredible mothers. What giants they are. They learn how to deal with the medical system. They become tough as nails because they make demands on the medical system that they need to. They're really quite remarkable people when you hear this whole story.